You please rise for the invocation by Mr. Olds.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's sick.
You say,
Please, with all honors, please excuse me for the
Mr. Brown? Mr. Brown?
Heavenly Father, we tell you thank you for this day. Thank you for assembling us here together. Thank you, God, for allowing us to be on one accord, good health. We pray, God, that you allow us to conduct the business of the city and allow it to be in the best interest of our constituents. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Olds, you can slide that chair back a little bit if you want to.
Way back.
Okay.
Ready to roll?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 1 is a request to approve the minutes from a special meeting, May 31st, 2016. I apologize for the delay. They were simply overlooked until now.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown? Aye. Ms. Jerome? Aye. Ms. Jamison? Aye. Mr. Brinson? Aye. Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart? Aye. Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 2 is a request to approve the minutes from the November 10th, 2016 regular City Council meeting.
Move for approval. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson? Mr. Olds? Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart? Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 3 is the final reading of an ordinance to approve the annexation of Section 52F TMS 411-1100181 Charleston County into City Council District 6. And I believe Mr. Van Raalte
Want to
has...
report, Mr. Van Raalte?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, members of council, the petition pending before you this evening contains names representing 100% of the freehold property owners and 100% of the assessed value. It stands ready for adoption, should you so desire.
Motion? Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? We welcome you to North Charleston. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison? Mr. Brinson? Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart? Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 4 is the final reading of an ordinance amending Section 4-11.1 of the zoning ordinances of the City of North Charleston to revise parking requirements for on-site parking in certain zero lot line areas, such as the Old Village and portions of Reynolds Avenue.
Move for approval.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye. I abstain, excuse me. I own a piece of property in that area, and
Where at?
it's like it's best for me to abstain. Okay, thank you.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 5 is the final reading of an ordinance proposed to rezone the property at 2137 Haney Street, Charleston County, TMS 478-1100-024, from B2 General Business to R3 Mobile Home Residential, and an amendment to the Comprehensive Plan Future Land Use Map, changing that parcel from major business retail to mobile home.
Recommend denial. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye for denial.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
motion to deny carries unanimously. Item 6 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning the property at 1025 Empire Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 471-1600-007, from B2 General Business to M1 Light Industrial, and concurrently amend the comprehensive plan future land use map for the same parcel, changing it from major business retail to light industrial.
Motion for denial.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye for denial.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion to deny carries unanimously. Item 7 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning the property at 1810 Dayton Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 469-1200043, from R2 multifamily residential to B2 general business, and concurrently amend the comprehensive plan's future land use map for the same parcel, changing it from multifamily residential to major business retail in Council District 10.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown? Motion to approve carries unanimously. Number 8 is the final reading of an ordinance rezoning the properties at 5460 Woodbine Avenue and 5455 Rivers Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 472-0700, lots 48 and 49, from B2 General Business to M1 Light Industrial, and concurrently amend the comprehensive plan's future land use map for the same parcels, changing them from major business retail to light industrial in Council District 6.
Motion?
Move for approval.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion to approve carries unanimously.
For the information on item number 9, the second piece, 470-1200-033, was not appraised because it was less than 1/10 of an acre and it was all low. Alrighty, please move forward.
This is the first reading of an ordinance to approve the sale of 16.74 acres located off of South Rat Avenue, North Charleston, TMS 470-1200-001, 094, and 033 for the appraised value of $1,100,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
this particular piece of property, I brought it up yesterday in the committee meeting. There was a long lapse between the time that we got the contract to it until it made it to the committee. There's multiple offers. I'm not sure of the timing, and I'm not sure exactly what the procedure is, but I think on this particular issue, we might want to relook at our whole process on this and see exactly where we're at, and that's why I won't be supporting it tonight.
Anybody else? Hearing none, the clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
No.
Mr. Olds?
No.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
No.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries 8-3 to approve for first reading. Number 10 is the first reading of an ordinance to approve the sale of 16.65 acres located off of Valdosta Street, formerly Columbia Street, North Charleston, TMS 470-1500107, for the appraised value of $974,025.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
just for clarification, we had no additional contracts on this property, did we?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart? Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 11 is the first reading of an ordinance to approve the sale of 5.5 acres located at 2144 Melbourne Street, North Charleston, TMS 470-11000055, for the appraised value of $688,000.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Same as last one, Mr. Mayor, no other
No,
offers?
sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown? Oh, and
Aye.
Mayor Summy, you're not on
Aye.
my cheat sheet here. Motion carries unanimously. Item 12 is the first reading of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary and proper to lease 4830 Piedmont Avenue, TMS number 472-1600037, and acceptance of outstanding arrearage.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Mayor. What did we get the property for? I don't think I asked that yesterday.
What are we doing now?
Yeah, what are we doing with the property? What are we leasing?
Leasing it for $800 a month.
For what?
Residential.
Residential?
The old parsonage?
Oh, the old part, okay, I got
Yes, sir.
you, I got you.
Mr. Mayor, last evening at the Finance Committee, we heard Mr. Hare outline the circumstances of this item, and we then voted to approve it. I'm going to vote no here on first reading, and I wanted to simply explain. I think the city attorney and Julie Elmore did a great job in responding to this. It was an issue that popped up all of a sudden. I used the word last night, inexplicable, and you know, when I got up this morning and thought about it again, it's still inexplicable. And with that, I just find it very, very difficult to vote for this. There are all kinds of equity issues. There's still some unresolved kind of balls in the air. So notwithstanding the fact that we did approve it last night, and I voted for it last night, I will be voting no tonight.
Anyone else? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
No?
Mr. Olds?
No.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries 9-2. Item 13 is the first reading of an ordinance prohibiting through trucks 6 tires or larger on Mezque Road and Facet Road.
Move for approval. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Golds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Mayor Summy,
Carries
Yes, Mr. Brown.
unanimously.
could we take items, which is all resolution 14 through 23 by title only?
Second.
Without objection, we will do it title only.
Item 14 is a resolution authorizing the city to accept the Highway Safety Grant in the amount of $153,290 from the South Carolina Department of Public Safety for the North Charleston Specialized Enforcement Team. 15 is a resolution authorizing the city to accept the Victims of Crime Act Program Grant in the amount of $55,478 for the Criminal Domestic Violence Advocate. Number 16 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to, nope, this one got
Withdraw.
pulled from the agenda. So, I'm sorry, 16 should not be read. Item 17 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute agreements for indefinite quantity architectural services. Item 18 is a resolution to approve the acceptance of the Danny Jones Community Center, the Felix Pinckney Community Center, and the Park Circle Community Center properties from the Cooper River Parks and Playground Commission. 19 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept the transfer of the Leeds Avenue Fire Station, TMS 410-0000, Lot 9, and the Deerwood Fire Station, TMS 486-0900-055 from the North Charleston District. Number 20 is a request to accept a portion of Cross Point Drive into the city system for maintenance. 21 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement covering area lighting with SCE&G for Coosaw Preserve Phase 7. Number 22 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement with Charleston County for the resurfacing of roads in the city of North Charleston. Number 23 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding for the Community Development Block Grant Program between Charleston County and the city of North Charleston.
Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion on any of those items. I want to say that what we've seen tonight is a very historical move as far as the city. We were founded in 1972, and we took over the operation of Danny Jones, Park Circle, and Felix Pinckney in 73. Although we have never owned those properties, they've belonged to Cooper River Parks and Playgrounds. We've been working with Cooper River Parks and Playgrounds for a while, and they have decided to go ahead and transfer these properties to the city. Most people thought we owned them, but we didn't, and it's a great step. And Mr. McJunkin is here tonight, and we want to say a personal thank you for this and the other item right after it, which we got the last 2 fire stations that will come to us from the district. So now they're our complete responsibility, not just for maintenance and operations, but also in ownership. Thank you, Mr. Mack. All right. Got a motion and a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Mayor Summy,
Yes, ma'am.
may we take items 24 through 29 as title only?
Without objections, we will do so.
Item 24 is a request to authorize the purchase of 55 X26P tasers from Taser International in the amount of $53,231.74. 25 is a request to authorize the purchase of a sewer vacuum truck from Public Works Equipment and Supply Incorporated in the amount of $385,176.01, utilizing the National Joint Towers Alliance Cooperative Purchasing Contract. 26 is a request to authorize the purchase of 2 Mack cabin chassis with Peterson grapple knuckle boom loaders from Hughes Motors Incorporated in the amount of $373,464.68, utilizing the North Carolina Sheriff's Association refuse truck contract. Number 27 is a request to authorize the purchase of outdoor fitness equipment and installation from Game Time Cunningham Recreation in the amount of $48,242.82, utilizing the U.S. Communities Cooperative Contract. 28 is a request to approve the accommodations tax funding requests for 2017. And number 29 is a request to change the date of the North Charleston City Council meeting from Thursday, December 22nd to Tuesday, December 20th.
Have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on any of the items? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Ms. Jamison?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson? Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, we have 2 requests to speak tonight. Excuse me. The first is Anthony Bryant.
Enjoyed Ray Anderson at the meeting. This goes to Ray Anderson for Public Policy. Anthony G. Bryant, 2123 Cortland Avenue, LSC 29403. A letter from John Emerson, General Counsel, and Janita Postaway. We were at the meeting of the whole September 12, 2016. I'm going to put in the record a letter between the Edwin Burns Memorial Grant application done by the city of Charleston, June 18, 2013, talking about cameras and talking about the use of cameras in the city of Charleston and the Justice Department regarding that matter. I had my family members in this article, in this public comment. So we got a letter from 2010 about the incinerator, DHEC and the State Ports Authority, and it had the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Homeland Security, and the EPA investigatory. It's kind of strange. And then we went to CPW and that meeting as well regarding that piece, and the office of the regarding the Sheriff's Department and that public comment as well. A public comment we made to the Senate, the state Senate, is attached. We did a house. I was in real estate. I sold a house to the city of Charleston to give to from BP to the city of Charleston to give to Charleston County School District. That property has been used in some type of nefarious and felonious way against my companies and my person. I take it very personal. I worked hard on that project. This was 2001. I was called at Charleston Arena. My public comments there, the Department of Interior here, Board of Realtors here, the maps for the enterprise community, all this stuff here. And then also there was no power. There's SC&G scanner here. There was no power in the house. There was no insurance in that house. And we referred that house to be a passive park for the community. It was on my computer. And so in turn, that was then used against me in some type of political fashion. We also, the Small Business Administration, the National Ombudsman's Office for 2 of my companies, SCDOT certified, Board of Zoning Appeals, and my 2 companies. So I want to make sure that Ray gets this information, Janita Postaway and others, that they're quit putting out these rumors about people, using these third-party not-for-profit organizations with MUSC and others who need grant money from the federal and state government to basically just slander people's names like it's nothing. You know, I'm proud of my name and reputation in the business community, and so it's gone now. I want to ensure that happens to nobody else again, that Post and Courier and other entities who have direct influences on many things, you know, Donald Trump won an election, But so to me, the Post and Curry and others who came to my house, who I was a source for many stories, have gathered themselves. You can do a libel suit. Who cares? And at the end of the day, it comes down to people being able to have the ability to dissent their points of view without any interference by the Chamber of Commerce or any other organization.
Thank you, Anthony. Our next speaker is Jonathan Thrower. Please state your name and address for the record and give us your remarks.
Jonathan Thrower of Vestavia Road. I really want to start off and speak with Michael Brown and Samuel Hart. I'm very disappointed at y'all too for the lack of engagement during the time we've been trying to set up or have discussions with the Department of Justice and the Citizens Review Board. The reason why I've been to mostly all of the meetings and haven't seen y'all out there, and the reason why I'm talking to y'all two in particular is because the areas that you are in are filled with crime and murders and robberies, and it's just so important that y'all basically step up to the plate and have some sort of interaction with us in the community who's trying to resolve issues. I'm in y'all's community every night, and everybody knows, passing out blankets to homeless people, doing food drive. I do all kind of work in y'all's district, and I see police stopping people, and I see brothers and sisters on the street, and I see all type of police interactions, and I feel that if nobody else has any sort of interaction, I believe that y'all two, and Mr. Williams also, but I believe y'all two have a higher duty in making sure that police-community relations are established. And I was upset because the last meeting, I sat and watched Michael Brown, District 1, and Virginia Jameson. They articulated the concerns that the community had with the Citizens Review Board. Even if you don't agree, they were able to articulate it in a manner to where the people could say, okay, they were sitting back and listening and taking note of what's happening. And y'all two stood in silence and didn't say anything. And that's bad because we need people to step up and try to help resolve the crime in this city. And I know the police officers that drive through those areas, they don't like going through the area because it's full of distrust between the citizens and the people. So I just believe that we have to do a better job. And especially, you know, you go on Chicora, Cherokee, and you go down Ackerby, and you go down Ferndale and Russellville, and we see all type of confusion and crime, and y'all have not, and I haven't seen any of y'all at a meeting, and if I see you must have came when it was over with. But we got to start holding each other accountable because we have to resolve the issues in our community if we are really truly about solving the problem between the police and the community and all of this distrust that's going on and people having this built-in anger with people they don't even know. And I talked to you about 3 weeks ago for about an hour outside of the community center.
You didn't talk.
Well, yeah. Well, I listened to you. No, let me finish because
You got 3 minutes, and we can talk after when we get finished. Also.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely
about
can.
commitment.
Yes,
I don't. You don't engage in a public comment, but this time I will.
Okay. All right. No problem. But I just want to make sure because he's interrupting me in my time. I just want to make one more comment. But you sat there and I listened to you. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
I'll be happy to talk to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll be happy to talk to you.
We need to talk.
Mr. Mayor, hold him right at the podium, please, where you are. I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
How many neighborhood council meetings have you attended in District 7?
Well, this is the thing.
I asked you a question.
Okay.
Or 10.
Okay, and I'm going to answer your question. Hardly any. But you know what? But hold on. Let me answer. Let me respond. Do you know how often I'm in the community 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, passing out blankets, speaking to people, doing food? Okay. That I interact with more people in the community than you.
I applaud you for being out there at 1 and 2 and 3 o'clock
every
in the
day.
morning. Well, yes, I applaud to you. We probably give you a medal.
I don't need a medal. I just want to
Meetings
see our communities in a better place.
Real quick, I would like to welcome my grandson to our meeting tonight, Mr. Dylan McNeil. He's growing up with us, so I thought I'd bring him.
Okay.
Mayor
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Mayor Sammy,
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to acknowledge our Citizen Public Safety Academy. I partake in that 9-week course, and it was very informative. I gleaned so much information, not only as a citizen, but I think it's going to help me with my city council duty. And I would just like to recommend it to all of our citizens. Try taking our Public Safety Academy. It is absolutely worth the effort. It'll be offered again in April. It's every Tuesday for 9 weeks, and you will enjoy it. You will learn what our city is doing on a day-to-day basis and meet our employees throughout the city. Thank you, Mayor.
They were very impressed with you as well.
She graduated tonight.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And I'm thankful to be able to serve for this city and with these colleagues of ladies and gentlemen up here and with you, Mr. Mayor. And I'm very thankful for our police department, our fire department, recreation, and all staff members of North Charleston.
Thank you. You bring us all a turkey.